Alright, so just wanted to give a quick overview here of the prison. So right now it's overnight. We'll go ahead and speed things up here. You can see the kitchen staff coming through, cleaning up. So we have one table. Actually, it's two tables that are stacked on top of one another. They tend to make stacks on the benches, which works pretty well. We have, I think, 3 or 4 serving tables stacked on top of one another. It looks like looks like there's one at the end, and then there's 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 sets of trays there. So we stacked all the benches as well. As you can see, there's lots of feet going across there. Looks like we may have made some mistakes in the stacking of the benches up here on the top row. That's how we get all of the prisoners into this tiny area for lunch and breakfast. So right now you can see they're taking showers. So just hit lockup time for minimum security. So for the schedule, they have 6 hours of free time, 1 hour of lockup, 4 hours of breakfast, and then they work for 4 hours, have an hour off, they work for 4 more hours, and then they have dinner for 4 hours, and then it's their 6-hour free time block. So in the free time block, they sleep. At lockup, they take their shower, which is occurring right now, and then they will all start to stream into the kitchen. So here we'll see, as this occurs, they all start to come in and get breakfast. Some of them go to use the amenities on the left-hand side. They have toilets, showers, prayer mats, phones, weight benches, pretty much everything they need to meet all of their needs right there at that left-hand side. So what works well when I have them separated by 1 hour is they come in and they eat and they sit down, and now most of the orange shirts have sat down, and now the red shirts come in and they file in and get their food, and then they still have several more hours to eat, I believe, altogether. They're all together for 2 hours total. So they all hang out in there and they meet all of their needs. As you can see, there's many of the needs going down right now. They don't really have any needs that aren't met. Looks like some of them might be tired today, but not too bad. So now it's work. So we have the gray shirts go to work first. They're usually the most productive, so I like to get them into all of the available working slots before the other. The medium security and then the maximum security come in and take the slots last. So what that does is it helps to increase the productivity and really get things moving in the daytime there in the prison. So it keeps our dollars up, our cash flow as well. So let's see. This is the protective security wing. So it's separated by this wall. This is the solitary wing here. It looks like we may have some people that have shown our traits. So we have an ex-prison guard. We should make him a protective security and end his punishment. And then a volatile, we can just recruit him, and that should end his punishment as well there. Okay. And then do we have anyone else? Here's a question mark. So we'll sort him by putting him in solitary, and question mark in solitary. Have a snitch running around. We'll get him in protective security real quick. It's never good. You should always make sure that you have all these people sorted. So what we've done now is it will bring our question mark guy down to the solitary room, and he's going to have a phone in there. So when he calls home, the security office, our officer with the phone tap will listen to the phone call, and it'll tell us what his trait is. He might need protection, he may not, but it's just best to keep him away from the population right there. So you'll do that with the phone booth, and then you'll have that connected to the phone tap with the guard in front of it. So that's how you're able to determine their traits. So it looks like just had a shift change from free time back to work. And then what's nice is all the jobs, once they're full, it's basically just free time all day for the rest of the prisoners. So since they have free time all day, then everyone's happy. There's no real issues. Have to have lots of kitchen area to feed all the prisoners all at once in this tiny canteen. And then it also feeds this canteen down here as well. So I believe if we take a look at our logistics for food, yes, this kitchen feeds both this canteen and the top canteen. And demand is pretty well met, actually. It looks like we may have some demand issues down here. But they have 4 hours to eat, so usually the food gets made eventually. So you can see this one is fully met up now, and this one should catch up. There it goes. So they still have another 2 hours to eat, so I'm sure they'll all get fed. And lots of deliveries coming in there. So in terms of entrance and exit, we don't actually have the outside. It's open, so if they do tunnel, which they actually don't tunnel in free time, I've found. So since we don't give them sleep time, they actually don't tunnel in the prison. So that's really cool. But if they were to tunnel, I used to have it on sleep time before I found that out, and they would tunnel. And they would basically just run down, and then they would run up, and there's no gate here. There's a door servo. I used to have a gate, but I removed the gate, and then there's no doors here, and they can just run down and out. But they get stopped by the armed guard. And that's a really good way to combat tunneling, to prevent the escapes. So in this prison, because of that, we have no escapes. No one's ever escaped from the prison. I do have several deaths from when the question marks have run around, but other than that, nobody's really died. You just have to. It'll pretty much run on its own. You don't really have to do much besides sort the prisoners. So it's really good if you're trying to learn that section of the game. I guess I'll post the Steam Workshop link for this prison so that you can learn all about the best way to sort the prisoners. So he's still unknown reputation here. So we just leave him basically in solitary until his needs go up for family, and then what'll happen is he'll give his family a call. So we can see his needs if we hover over him. So his need right now is freedom, so he's not going to get any more freedom while he's in solitary. All his other needs can be met. He has a weights bench, TV, a prayer mat, and a phone, as well as the toilet and shower, and the bed, so he can meet all of his needs, except for freedom. So nice, safe way to keep your unknown prisoners. Like I said, when they come in, you go to the Informants tab, and you can sort all your prisoners really easily. It's a good idea to look when they come in, such as right now. You'll see it flash up there. You can sort them while they're on the bus, so we'll just punish them to solitary. From my experience, I saw he was only sentenced 3 years. So usually he'll call his family pretty quick. He's probably going to be someone that goes to protective custody since he's only a 3-year sentence. Usually the really short sentences turn out to be requiring protective custody. This one he may turn into like a volatile or something just less. He won't require protection. So let's see, let's talk about the hallways. So our main hallway for all of our goods and all of the travel in and out of the prisoner, or all in and out of the prison, is pretty much 2 tiles, but it does have the extra 2 tiles, so it's 4 tiles wide. So this, when there's goods and other things flowing in and out of the prison, this really helps to reduce the traffic. You did see there was some traffic occurring there between the 2 doors, but that traffic there keeps the flow steady coming through this door, which keeps the flow steady around this corner here. So if we go up just a little bit, so we've got a 2-tile walkway all the way up, and then here's our common room with all of our the alcohol class. So we've got the 2 squares that go down because they'll push the laundry baskets. And the laundry baskets will take up one of the squares, so you'll see a lot of traffic build up when the laundry baskets are there. We don't see too much of a build-up in terms of that little walkway there, even though the dog is there. I find the dog excellent to catch any kind of things that are the smelly contraband. So less people go to the psychologist office and the mail room, so that's why we have those two open up there. If they are going to go to these two doors, or these two, the chapel and the classroom, the doors are on the bottom, so they'll walk through there as it's the shortest route. So basically with this, I wanted to plan the shops that have less turnover are further away from the general area. So like the workshop, they'll be there for the whole 4 hours. The laundry, they'll usually be there most of the time. You might be able to switch that with the mailroom. I actually haven't thought of that until just now. And then you can move the workshop next to the other one. That might actually be a better layout there. But in general, you want to just keep it like that. We have the parole and the visitation real close to the front. That way, if anything, we do have several officers patrolling in there. If we look at our deployment for the patrols, there's several patrols in there throughout the daytime hours, it looks like. And we have several patrols outside, but then also just the random guards that mill outside randomly. So what'll happen is if there's some kind of event, they'll all kind of rush in, and especially with the security office right here, it makes this part of the prison the safest, basically. The prisoners can't really get down here. We do have the psychologist office available to the not only the protective security, but we have the psychologist office up here as well for the general population. So everyone has a psychologist except the Supermax wing, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But they have their own chapel, laundry, classroom. You have to have the classroom so that they're able to stock the library. I did play around with a shared library, but unfortunately in previous games I wasn't able to do that successfully to get the schedules. I had trouble with the food. If you have the offset food times, they weren't cleaning up the food trays properly. So it seems best to have everyone eat at the same time. You have to have 4 hours for them to clean up the food trays and wash the dishes. So that's about it. We have separate visitation. Unfortunately, I don't give them parole, because usually I want to keep them in here so that I can keep the capacity up. Right now I have it set, my shared capacity is 346, so I have it set as filled to 346. That way I can just kind of walk away, and as they get released, my prison won't overflow and people won't be unassigned cells. So that's why I have it set the way it is right now. Obviously, you can manually calculate how many protective custody you have. So like right now we have 9, so we can add 9 additional prisoners if we wanted to, and they would take up these spots here. We could also take into account we have people in solitary. So you can really fill up the prison. It holds a lot of people. Again, this is a small prison, or the small map size. The entire outside is going to be 75 by 72. So in 75 by 72, we have 373 cells. Actually, it's only 370. The 73 is going to be the Supermax. So over here we have an infirmary, we have the laundry, we have a canteen, we have the 3 cells for the Supermax, and they have their own solitary. So they have their own yard. The building's made out of fence, and we have armed guards patrolling. So the moment that they start, anything happens, they get shot. Usually we have free fire enabled, and then poof, they stop fighting immediately. So, yeah, it looks like we just got some prisoners in. So we need to, again, sort them. It looks like we have a question mark here. So we put him in solitary. Check this out. So he's fearless. So we can end his punishment, and he'll stay in max security. And he's quick, but he's also a potential CI. So if you go to experience and you recruit him, that also ends his punishment. So you can just close the window. You have to be careful. You don't want to recruit them right away if you have them on permanent, because it does take them out, and then you'll have to put them back in permanent. So it's best to just leave them until you're ready to release him, until they reveal their actual the trait, like he's quick. So this guy, he still hasn't called home, but the other two have, so they'll get out. And then this area is staff only, so he'll get escorted to his room. They can walk out of solitary, but they can't walk through this area, so they get stopped right there. So let's see, is there anything else? So in terms of staff rooms, we have the 2 staff rooms outside. We have a small staff room that's 1 by 4 model squares here. It's actually, it tells you it's no good, but they use it and they rest there, and it works for all intents and purposes. So that is excellent. And then I think we also have a staff room right here that is the same kind of, it's not big enough, but they do rest in it and it works great. And then we also have 1 staff room down here, and we have 1 staff room over here. So yeah, that's the prison. This whole area is also a big giant staff room. So they'll either come down here, they'll go up to this staff room right here next to the security. You should always have security in the kennel and the staff room real close to the front. I don't have that many dogs spread throughout, so if they do have to go, like he would go through this route. So that's the thing, is you always want to keep the distance traveled short, because when they have to calculate the path all the way across the map and they have to make all these different turns, it's really hard for the prison architect to keep the frame rate up. So see, right now we're running at 3 times speed. I'm getting 24, 25 frames a second. So there's obviously some performance issues when it comes to the actual performance of the game. So you will find it's a lot better if you keep the paths short, straight lines, and keep them simple and wide enough so that the traffic doesn't actually get backed up from when people are walking. Like he has the laundry basket right now, but people just walk around him because there's the extra square that they can walk through. So you just have to make sure that all your walkways have enough width, and stack the objects in the kitchen. And I could probably stack like the fridge and the cookers and stuff. I bet I could take this this idea and micro it down a lot more, and probably get some more prisoners in here. But in doing so, I may actually kind of overload some other areas, like the delivery. Like right now it's the evening, so you'll see that all the food just came in, the mail is there. There is occasionally some bugs with the mail. I found this dev tool add-on that allows you to delete stacks of all types. So if you do see like the mail looks like it might be kind of getting backed up right now, so I can go ahead and use that to del stack. And I think if we just click there, I think it's del all stack. There it is. So that removes all the food, all the books, all of the junk. The food trays are still there, but it may have messed up my dinner time. But that's okay. But this works great just to kind of reset. You can delete all the stuff, all new stuff will get delivered, and it kind of just resets the prison. And if you're finding you're having issues with the mail room or other rooms, it really saves a lot of time instead of trying to individually click on all these little things and delete them, like if the food goes bad and it's stuck on the stove or things like that. So that's one of the add-ons. Let's see what that one's called. The dev utility mod, developer dev utility mod for prisoner gang and objects. And then the chaos mod is fun. You can make everyone riot and do some other things like that. But I hope I didn't talk too much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the prison, and I hope you build something even better and maybe overlap some more objects and show me how to turn the rest of my prison into this this beautiful thing that I have going here in the canteen. So I'd love to see what you come up with. Leave a comment, toss me a like, thumbs up, whatever it is. I'm kind of new to this YouTube. I don't really do this. I've never done this before. So I hope you enjoyed, and happy building in Prison Architect. Have a great day.